Okay, so real quick, we're gonna run down the power supply retrofit from going from an Emerson to a Meanwell. Make sure your power is off before we start working on anything in here. This is already a retrofitted unit, but I'm gonna walk you through some of the changes that we'll have to do. On the Emersons, what you'll have is this bracket, and all these brackets are meant to be universal. So if we skip over to page 4 on this procedure, it'll tell us with the main disconnect turned off, we're going to disconnect these 2 cables from your top of the breakers. So if you have multiple breakers or power supplies, all of them will be disconnected from the top. And then we'll also disconnect the power supply. The enable signal is going to be on top of the power supply. And then we're going to disconnect the voltage sense from the control boards. That's going to, or from the interface board. That's up there. Disconnect those 3 guys. And then on the bottom, we're going to disconnect all our H-bridge and get rid of all that secondary connections. Using a 3/8 drive, we'll remove those nuts out, and then we'll be able to pull that power supply out. Once you got that power supply out, all these power supplies will fit right into those same studs that are on the back panel. So you just position it back into that back panel, and then we're going to start connecting. The wiring of the power supplies, you'll see, is this flexible cable. So you'll go from a positive to a negative, positive to negative, and then your positive will come back down to here on the relays. If you don't have the relays, it'll go to the positive of the phenolic blocks or the non-H bridge blocks that you'll have here. So the positive will go there, and then the negative from the first power supply will also go to that block. Okay. This is kind of like the block. It kind of shows it on there. So no relay assembly, non-self cleaning. Okay. All your hardware will be universal, so you'll be able to reuse all that hardware to reattach all your bus bars. Once you've got them installed, these cables should all fit. Just wire your breaker back on. You'll get brand new current enable or power supply enable cables. Just plug those back on. Also your cell voltage, plug those back on. Back to the H-bridge, or the interface board. When you look at the interface board, this is position number 1 for power supply number 1, power supply number 2, power supply 3, and power supply 4. That's all voltage sense for those. Okay. All right, and then that should be it. That should be it for the procedure. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot to it. But if you have any questions, you can call us at 505-377-5879, or you can also email us. Thank you.